Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, my music. Let it ride.
What's up? It's your girl, Maimuxic, coming to you with Uptown Sounds. And y'all already know how we get down on the Uptown Sound. For the next hour, we are going to have some fun hearing from, listening to the best of artists out there, independent or not. We top tier over here on Uptown Sounds. Y'all already know how we get down. Uptown Sounds is powered by Sonic Scout Radio, the best platform for independent artists out there. And we are presented by Uptown Creative Haus, a creative studio, home of Next to Last Productions, Film House 35, Uptown Sounds, Uptown Naturals Clothing Company, and Film House Cinemas. Today, and really, I tried to key y'all in last week. Y'all might have picked it up. You might have not picked it up. But go ahead and grab it today, because I'm going to let you know. These last few weeks of the year, top notch, top tier, best of the best. We got some fun stuff happening. And we kicking it off today with a 2-part special. All right, this is a 2-part special. You're going to have to come back next week to get the rest of this one, all right? Today, we have the Black Gogeta Takeover. And let me tell you, 2/3 of the crew came and took over the studio and put together an incredible 2-part special. I'm so excited for y'all to hear. Obviously, today we kicking off part 1. You're going to have to come back, double back to us next week to catch part 2 of it. But it is an incredible episode that you are in store for. We were joined by Donte and Epoch. Big shout out to Isan, who was also a part of the crew. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it in person. But Epoch and Clay held it down. And what's happening today is we have a special behind the scenes look for all of my creatives out there, all of my artists, all of my producers, engineers, managers, videographers, so on and so forth. This is a 2-part special for you. They are taking the curtain, they pulling the curtain back, they taking you through the entire process. And what you get is 2 incredible and talented young men who come in and they take you through the entire process of releasing their EP, Black Gogeta, which came out on October 31st. If you have not checked it out, then we the place for you, because of course, we got to play the whole EP on here. So go ahead and strap in, because this is going to be fun. Clay, Epoch came in and they took the studio over. They did their thing. So without further ado, let's welcome on Epoch and Clay Donte to Uptown Sounds. Let's go.
Yeah. So my name is Donte Hall. I go by the name of Clay Donte. I'm from the south side of Flint. I grew up in Flint. To get into music, I probably was writing raps at I was freestyling as early as 8 years old. I used to just randomly just freestyle with my brothers like a joke since we was kids. But then he started to produce around the time he was about 12. So by a couple years into him doing that, by the time I had to become around 12 years old, he started teaching me how to produce as well. So you had me writing, had me rapping. We was already musicians growing up. Both of my brothers were in band programs, teaching me how to play instruments. We all started playing saxophones, alto saxophone, tenor saxophone, soprano, baritone, all of that. So we really organically got into music. Both of their passions for music is where mine grew. And just being a student to both of their different skill sets. My oldest brother was in the choir, drum major for the band. The other one was doing his things with the beats, writing raps and stuff. So I just was like, why not? So by the time I was 14, I started recording and releasing music, YouTube, SoundCloud. By the time I was 16, I was putting stuff on Apple Music, Spotify, all of that, and went from only rap to then R&B, then getting into some pop stuff as well. Yeah. And now I'm just kind of this multi-genre artist, producer, engineer as well. I'm recording myself, mixing and mastering myself. So it's been a journey and definitely a lot of learning, putting out, 100+ songs, a bunch of different, mixtapes, projects. just you could hear the growth from song 1 to what we just did. Like it's amazing. Like you remember back in high school. Like
I was just listening to it the other day, bro. I was like, man, this is crazy.
So the evolution in the sound, the quality of the music, and just the writing ability, the passion that's in the music now it's all starting to click like all this time later. So I'm glad it was something I stuck with as much as it can be. You know, your faith can get tested with music. It's very rewarding to feel like I'm definitely as a talent coming into my own. So.
Yeah, it reminds me of like when you see like all those like boxers or any athlete really, I guess, but like when their parents started them when they were like 4 years old and stuff like that. So they're just like this prodigy or whatever because they've been doing it their whole life or whatever. Like that's like you, bro. Like you just been doing it your whole life type of deal. So you already have a lot more experience than a lot of people do. You know what I'm saying? Just because of like how you grew up, I guess, in the environment, all the music that was around you. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah,
and then like my dad was like such a big hip hop head. All pretty much all of my favorite artists as a kid came from his influence. So like I'm like super into like Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
Jay-Z is I consider him to be the greatest of all time. My dad put me on to him. Lupe Fiasco, Common, the earlier Kanye West stuff, the earlier Drake stuff.
You gotta say earlier stuff.
Yeah, just like he was just. I was just around him in the back of his car, just like listening, like paying attention. And I think those artists, among many others, I could go on for days, like Wale, the stuff he was doing around like the Ambition time, which Isan got into on the project as well. But just like at that time, there was so much dope stuff getting played that I didn't realize, but I was learning how to rap.
Yeah,
like I was learning how to write songs. So if it wasn't for his love for hip hop, I don't know that I would be in the same space of passion about it that I am today. So, but in terms of your upbringing,
yeah, I mean me, I definitely I don't have as much musical experience from a young age than Clay did. I mean, I played drums when I was like really little, and then my parents just really surrounded me with music a lot when I was young, just like different instruments, and they played a lot of music when I was a kid, and I always like. Even I remember getting told like when I was a baby, like the only thing that would calm me down was when playing certain songs, you know what I'm saying? And so I've always been just really in tune with music, and I love music. Music's what I'm passionate about. It's what I feel like, I'm meant to be doing with my life. And so that's just what I'm trying to pursue, because I feel like, as human beings, we should be doing what we're passionate about with our life, you know what I mean? So that's my passion, and I've been making beats personally since probably mid high school, so like 2016, 2017-ish.
I remember that. You be in class like watching YouTube, like FL Studio tutorials
Man,
and stuff.
Yeah, I watched the Internet Money. Yeah, yup. Because I was big into like the Juice WRLD or like Lucky or
Cardi.
Yeah, Playboy Cardi, Pierre Bourne especially, bro, because I was big into his producers. So I made a lot of that type of stuff. Now, like at this day and age, my biggest inspirations are probably like people like The Alchemist, Conductor Williams, or like West Side Gun, or like Theravada, like the underground hip hop stuff. I like to sample a lot more than I did back then.
Yeah, that's a 180, like completely.
Yeah. It's a complete flip. It's a complete flip.
Yeah, I had like a similar, because you remember I was super into underground hip hop.
Yeah.
And I didn't like R&B. Oh, I liked R&B. I didn't want to do R&B because I'm like, no, I'm trying to bring back hip hop. I'm trying, like, when you first start, you had this like ego about you, or at least I did. Like, I was just like, I had this sense of like just a chip on my shoulder. Like, I got to show I'm like the most skilled lyricist and all these. And at the time, I think that I thought I was better than I was, or I thought I could at that time know nothing more, and I thought that I was already at a certain tier, and it took a lot of being humbled and making mistakes and listening back on stuff like, oh, I wish I'd have done this different. I wish I would have produced this better. I wish I would have mixed this better. I didn't know what mixing was at a certain point. I didn't know it all went into this stuff. I just knew that I could rap. So then like, you start fine tuning these skills, and then you start to uncover how much untapped potential there is with music. There's an infinite amount of combinations that you can make a song with. You can do something one day, and just the slightest change in it can make an entirely different song. So that's when I started to say, okay, well, I want to start doing R&B.
Expanding,
And
yeah.
I went from just rapping to when I would put these mixtapes together. I did my first one when I was 16, 16 in that area. It was called See You There. I was like hanging up flyers around the school and stuff. And it was a multi-genre project. It was still very mature and very serious. I think it was more serious than, I might have taken it too serious at that point to where it wasn't
No,
it
that's
almost
good,
wasn't
though.
a fun listen. It was like it was just like a skill exhibition.
No,
But
I
that
feel
was
you.
something that I learned to grow out of. Like, okay, you can incorporate these new sounds. You can incorporate these new styles that you feel are like should be forbidden if you're a raw,
Hip-hop
lyricist.
artist.
Yeah. And then you would even hear me on those earlier projects trying to do like, okay, I want to do an Afrobeat song. I want to do a pop song. I want to do an R&B song. But
now you're making Pharrell
understand.
Williams stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
So just like it's crazy the changes I would make, and then I would get in by the time I was 18, the Pretty Boy series. I did Pretty Boy 1 at that time,
I remember.
where that was like, I called it Pop and B. It was like, so it was halfway pop, halfway R&B.
Yeah.
And then I would turn around and do this other project I had called the Don Corleone tape. That released like 3 or 4 months right after Pretty Boy 1.
Yeah.
And that was all hip hop. That was just straight, like all produced by me, just raps.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could just hear the growth. Like the mixing wasn't what it is today, but it was better than what it was when I was 15 and 16.
Yeah.
It was just like these building blocks kept compounding.
Yeah.
And when you look at what I've been doing in the last year and a half, I feel like I've come into my own artist. Ever since I changed my name from Clay the Don to Clay Donte, I feel like an entirely new book opened up of just like who I am and what I can do, and I'm still only like scratching the surface. Like there's an entire lifetime of music still to make. So I'm excited.
Honestly, bro, I feel like my journey with that was a little bit different from yours, just because like when I first started making beats, like I just got so like enamored with it and in love with it, and I got really passionate about it. So at that point, I was doing it for the love, and then I was putting a little bit of stuff on SoundCloud because I thought it was cool. But then when I started wanting to take it serious, I was like, man, like, all right, I gotta level up before I start putting myself out there. I gotta like, get better, and then I got in this mindset of like, I have to get to a certain point before I can start putting myself out there. And I feel like that's what kind of effed me up for a long time, because I'd never put anything out for, like, this is my first real project with my name on it, that I put out with you. And I think the reason for that is because of that mindset. And I'm just now realizing, like, man, like what you did, you just have to put yourself out there and grow, like with the world watching, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and adjust.
And and just as you go along that path, you will just grow as an artist, you know what I'm saying? And your fan base will grow, or you will grow as a person and like as an artist. So I feel like I'm just starting to realize that. And so I feel like, I have, like you said, a whole lifetime of music to make now. But so it was a little bit different for me though, because I spent a lot of time making beats and then just not putting them out, you know what I mean? So I still grew a little bit, but I feel like if I had just put a lot more stuff out earlier, then I could have been at a way like farther place than I am now. But
it was very divine timing in my opinion. It was like right as I have spent so much time in the last year doing these club records or these R&B records and stuff, and I was really like, I really want to get back into hip hop. But even I'm a producer myself, but there's certain strengths other producers have. That's why you see these producers collaborating with other producers or these artists having these projects that are A&R by these guys who can say, well, for this vibe you do this, go with this producer, or if you want to do a more traditional hip hop sound, that's when you lean towards an Alchemist or a Conductor. And then for these more upbeat vibes, you might go with like a Metro or something. Like I was just starting to accept that even though I'm good and proficient at pretty much every genre that I seek to try, or I'm able to learn how to get good at these different genres when producing, there's some people who are just, they specialize in this stuff. And I'm like, listening to your stuff, I had beats in my iCloud just that you had sent me a couple years ago that I would just listen to it regularly. I'm like, man, I would love to work on something in this vein. And then when we talked about it, me and Isan had already been talking about working on something together. It didn't have to be much. It didn't have to be a full project, but just a few songs around hoodie season, fall.
I knew it was divine timing, bro. When he started working with me, bro, I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
We're so like he transferred to my job, so now we work at the same place. So now it's like, all right, we gotta make some music.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about it all the time, bro. We make the same type of music, like we're on the same stuff. Like
Yeah.
it really was divine timing. It all just came together at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we were talking about, this is just the start, bro. I feel like we got a lot more work to come because
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like I grew a lot as a producer from this, but and I'm still growing a lot as a producer. But yeah, I'm excited though.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think there's a parallel with our growth that
No, for sure.
and Isan as well.
Man, he sounds crazy. I wish he could have came to this too.
Yeah. His talent
Shout out
and
to
lyrical.
Isan.
Yeah, shout out to Isan. His talent and his lyrical ability is it's different the way he works and the way that I work, because he kind of feels everything out. He just does. He just exists, and it's something I've always admired, because I'm very technical. Like, as I'm writing these raps, I'm structuring out, like,
It's all why to everything.
Yeah.
There's a rhyme
There's
and a reason behind everything.
exactly, like, he just feels it and just like, no, we
go
just
with
gonna
the
rap
flow.
until we get a verse done. And with
Yeah.
me, I'm more so like, well, let's structure this. Let's do this line here.
Yes.
Let's move that line. The last line of that, let's move that up here. and
I
let's
see
do
that when you
this.
guys work.
Like, yeah, it's like we work so differently, but
Yeah.
the it's just there's a certain marriage between those two styles that like made something so dope, because we had a similar goal. Like, we had different routes, but we had the same, which is let's do dope rap.
Goku and Vegeta, bro.
Yeah,
Goku and Vegeta.
exactly. So like different demeanors, but like, man, did it turned out to be something.
Yeah.
It turned out to be something great, and you, both of you, really brought me into a space with hip hop that I hadn't touched yet.
Right.
Like, I think I was almost getting so lost in R&B, because a lot of, and I love R&B, and that will always have my soul, but my heart is hip hop too.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah,
I'm getting a
me
lot of
too.
new, exposure through my R&B music,
Mm-hmm.
and people are enjoying that, hip hop was almost like, I don't think people really remember that. I'm like,
You gotta bring it
I'm
back,
very
bro. Show everyone
lyrically
who you are.
capable. Yeah, and then these types of beats, it's just like, that's a layup. That's like, there's almost no better opportunity for me to come back and really focus on rap for a few songs at a time, than getting with you and Isan. So.
And by the way, the reason I said Goku and Vegeta is because our project's called Black Gogeta.
Yeah.
And Gogeta is the fusion of Goku and Vegeta. So for all you Dragon Ball fans, you would know what I'm talking about. But
yeah,
Black Gogeta is the name of the project. So
yeah, that name, even the name and the cover art came about just like talking about what we should theme the project after with Isan. And he was like, oh, we should do something like Shaq and Kobe. And I was like, that would be cool. I thought about it for a minute, but then I'm like, I feel like a lot of these parallels have already been drawn to where when people are theming their projects, there's nothing super unique anymore. It's like, we'll theme it after pro wrestling. I'm a huge pro wrestling fan. I would love to do that. But like, Shaq and Kobe is another like classic comparison. But when you get into like anime, that's almost something that hip hop is like a little ashamed to admit is cool.
Man,
so like
some people aren't. Some people are, because there's some niches of hip hop that it's very hip hop oriented, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and they rap about it. Like, shout out my dude Axel from Detroit, bro. This dude, like, pretty much in all his raps, he has an anime reference, every single one of them, and it's so dope. And he always carries around that big that key from Kingdom Hearts, I think the name that game. I forgot the name. I'm sorry if I'm messing it up, but
it's Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, it's dope, bro. So I feel like it's starting to come up. It's definitely a part of the hip hop culture. I feel like a lot of people who like hip hop like anime. So you're saying it's like people are embarrassed to admit it, but
like I've always been like, you've known me for a while. I've never really shied away from who I am. Even if I was like still understanding who I was and didn't quite know, whatever I thought was dope was what I thought was dope. Nobody's gonna make me ashamed of it. No. So if I like pro wrestling, that's what I like. If I like comic books and the Marvel and DC, superheroes and movies and things like that, and that's what I like. If I like gaming, that's what I like. Anime, that's what I like. So I'm gonna live out those like connections within the music, because like it's important. Like I'm not gonna fake any of this. Yeah, like,
it makes you unique as an artist when you talk about the stuff you like it makes you relatable. You know what I'm saying? To the right people too, not to the people that you're like trying to be fake for, but to the people who actually like you because they like the same stuff you like. You know what I mean? So
exactly. And being a nerd can clearly be dope. Like, you incorporate anime with something so hip hop, and like there's almost certain certain like you know how I would clip some of the clips from like the actual Dragon Ball show
Yeah. I was gonna talk
to
about that when we start playing, but
to putting it in the music, and it don't like that combination of sounds, like hearing a Kamehameha over your production is
yeah,
like
bro.
that's
Hey,
like
hold up a second.
yeah, that's dope. That's something that shows like it can be nerdy or uncool if you're a closed minded person, but I think there's a whole level of like
I mean, different people like different things, you know what I
yeah
mean? And every
connecting the
person
two.
expresses themselves differently, but
Yeah,
so
connecting those two things can be like eye opening. Like there's
yeah,
so many different interests that you can include in music to
mm,
express it in a whole different way. So,
yeah,
but yeah, I'm excited to get into it, to get to the
yeah.
music for sure.
That's dope. That's dope. So, question: we settled on 4 songs.
Mm.
Was it when we came in? Was that the goal? Was it like we ran through a gazillion
Hmm.
songs, and we was able to like we had to cut it down to this? Like, what was that?
Well,
The work process of it.
I sent like several beats through. We knew we
Mm-hmm.
wanted just like an EP. We didn't want a whole album, but it was gonna be somewhere between like 3 and 5 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we knew it was gonna be like not a big project, but it was just a matter of choosing what beats do we want, and then we were gonna use this one beat, but then it ended up getting used by someone else, and then
Isan was sick about that.
yeah, so
He
there was a
wanted
little
that
bit of
beat.
there's a couple tribulations we had to go through, but
Yeah.
eventually we decided on these 4 beats, and then yeah, once we decided on the beats, they just kind of took it from there, you know.
Yeah, and it's cool because Isan's pen is so flexible. Like you could
Man,
throw whatever beat at him as long
man,
as it's he trusts my opinion. So I did most of the beat selection, but the way he would attack them was like just you pick, pick what you want and then bring it, and then we just would go. It's like his writing ability. He writes fast. Sometimes you can't tell if it's like, is this, did you write this, or like, cause it'll just be, he'll go to the mic and just, all right, let me see what I got, and then a whole 16, like he'll get through the whole verse in like 2 takes,
yep.
and you're like, what, like you almost like, did he write this before? Like I have, to this moment, I have
Bro,
no
both you
idea.
guys
Like,
do that.
are
Like I've
these?
seen it. I literally, bro, I literally played the beat one. I don't know which one it was. I forgot which one, but I played the beat, and they just both took out their phones, bro, and just started typing.
Well,
And we're just
Marco,
playing the
yeah,
beat, and they're just sitting there typing. And then 15 minutes later, like the song's halfway done, they're rapping it. I'm like, dog, this is crazy.
yeah,
Like they just came up with it on the spot.
yeah. It's dope, and he pushes your pen. Oh my god, like Isan will make you like, there's no bars that can be like, there's nothing filler. You can't just get to the next line or get to the punchline. You gotta rap all the way, top to bottom. You either gotta tell a story,
Yeah,
or you gotta say some like
he
some
has
crazy
lyrics.
double entendre something, but you gotta come with it, or he gonna smoke you. Like
Cause
you
he
gotta
sounds a
keep up.
poet.
Yeah,
He's a literal poet. Like he did spoken word poetry, and like he has real like good cadence, and he has really good delivery, and like you said, really good writing. And like you really have to listen to his lyrics because he says a lot of just stuff that will go over your head if you don't listen.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, he sounds dope, bro.
yeah. And I learned a lot from working with him. Learned a lot from working with you, and it's just like I said, the divine timing. Cause like this was a necessary part of our stories, and I'm there's nothing
Hmm.
anybody can convince me of that would say that we are not meant to be, as three just individuals and as a collective, just some of the most prominent and accomplished figures in music
Bro.
someday. Because like
Period.
what
Period.
the
Period.
passion we put into this, and just the fun we had with it too,
Man,
it was a beautiful thing. It was a dope experience.
man.
And I'm glad you said that as an artist working with another artist, like the challenge of like, okay, he's smoking me right now. I
Yeah,
gotta
It's
catch up to
healthy
him.
competition, you
yeah.
know.
It's healthy competition, but for you, like how was it? How do you feel like this experience shaped you to be better as a producer moving forward? Like just sitting
Man,
down and going through a project with artists, like not just one artist, but two incredible artists,
yeah.
and um, they do things great, but they do things different. Like they're great at
Mhm.
what they do. So you coming in as like, okay, I sent y'all this beat. All right, the next one, I gotta make sure like this
Yeah.
one gotta, like this one
Well,
gotta go.
so the beats that I had sent them, majority of them I just already had sitting, and I just sent them to him. But I will say, like, it still was a growth experience for me because, like I was saying, this was my first time with my name on a project. I have some songs released out with like collabs with other artists, but my name isn't on it. So you can't click on my name and go. So this is my first thing where you can, click on the name Epoch and go to my account, and it's out there for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And then it's being performed and stuff like that. So this is my first time I'm getting like real like exposure with my music, and like my first time working with artists that I feel like are like this level of talent. And so I feel like it's an almost level of like imposter syndrome. Like, do I even deserve to like be at this level, bro, or like be playing these beats? You know what I mean? But that's really pushed me to because I feel like I'm getting a lot of opportunities right now, and not even just with this, but like this album was a huge opportunity and a huge growth moment for me. But other stuff outside of this, just with things going on in Detroit and stuff like that, and so that's just really pushing me to be a better producer and to level up and to get inspiration from everything around me. And I feel like another thing that's been helping me a lot is when I'm meeting all of these cool artists like Clay, like Isan, like people in Detroit, like, and I'm hearing their music, and I'm like, man, like I'm blown away by all this stuff, And instead of getting intimidated or getting like jealous, like I'm trying to be more inspired and like admired of it, you know what I'm saying? And that way I can just take it in and absorb it and not compare myself to it, but use it to make myself a better producer and add those elements into my production, you know what I'm saying, and elevate that. So yeah, it's been really a challenge just to like, for like my growth mindset and just to be a better producer in general. So I feel like my next project is going to be 10 times better, bro.
Yeah,
just because
we already talking about that. Yeah, we already had conversations
Yep.
about that next project, but I definitely, what you were saying about like kind of being your own artist, like treating you as an artist here. A lot of what I've noticed when you look at the greats in production is they make it a personal, mission to treat themselves as an equivalent artist. Like they're not just a background character. They're a key contributor. Yeah, they're a part of it. So when you see like these collaboration projects between Metro and Future, or you see these collaborations between Hit Boy and Big Sean, and there's so many combinations of Alchemist and Freddie, there's so many collaborations where you're saying like, no, this is a team opposed to a leader
or an
and
artist.
Like I think it's maybe it's me as a producer as well, knowing how important that is, because I know what goes into producing. I know what goes into engineering and to sequencing projects and all these different things, sound selection, that's important stuff. So I wanted it to be highlighted, like your skill set was just as important as any of ours.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Lately I've been in a different space. Life been moving at a quicker pace. Peep my vibe switching, shifting quickly to a different phase. Even unfulfilled, I gotta kill and still you bitch amazed. Picture leaving straight from therapy to go and hit the stage. Mama told me, boy, you scaring me. Wish I could convey in words everything I'm going through on a daily base. Hide it all the very best I can and still she see the pain. Leaving earth will mean I leave her too, so don't be afraid. Realign myself, connect to God, learn to really pray. Get a boost to healthy confidence and finally feel okay. If you think I'll let you take it from me, you can get erased. And like a nigga scared to cut his braids, you gon' fear the fate. I can feel my spirit coming back when I put pen to page. Close my Bible, bow my head to God, forgive my sinful ways. Help me learn to love myself again and you will be repaid. I'll give you my ego and bravado for my soul to save. I'll give you my ego and bravado for my soul to save. I'll give you my ego and bravado
for my latest efforts. Focusing on getting better. Carry weight they can't imagine. I don't mind the pressure. Mentally your head up. Steps of contemporary measures. Real enough to know when I'm blessed with another legend's presence. Cursed with knowledge. Living days I thought I'd never see. Coming to fruition. Back to back, try and set my feet. Think before I speak. Every effort just to keep the peace. Younger sign will say I've grown soft. I say I'm more complete. That the ego, beneath the surface lies the realest me. And every setback, a battle scar, I only gain prestige. Never thought I'd be here, though mentally fatigued. I know my purpose be the driving force, is never gonna deplete. Toss with Clay, like it's only right, we give them what they need. This ain't rap, this confession hour, let the ink bleed. Let the record show, Always paid dues and stayed me. Gave up all of that bravado, so my soul remained free, and that's on everything.
I'll give you my ego and bravado for my soul to save. I'll give you my ego and bravado for my soul to save. Illest in the Midwest, pardon my bravado. In other words, that means I'm him from Detroit to Chicago. Healing to perform these songs and I keep living inside them, cause the hurt it took to write them is what haunts me when my eyes close. I know. There's so much of me left, but that's hard to keep in mind after so much of me left. Been trying to understand how to nourish my neglect, so I had to learn to vent when my hands across my chest is done. I'll give you my ego and bravado for my soul to save. I'll give you my ego and bravado for my...
So that was the first one that we made. That Deborah was the first beat that I sent Clay, I think, and he was like, yeah, I got to do something with this. And then I think I just sent it to you originally, and you just made a verse on it, and you're like, I want to get my boy Sound on this.
Yeah.
And that's how we got the idea of maybe we should do a whole collab project, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really it. It's like, well, you could tell more about it, I guess, yeah.
It was funny because the style of production on that, it's almost like risky to do that as like an intro to a project because of the pacing of it, the seriousness of it. Usually there's people start their projects with a certain energy.
What's that bravado?
Yeah, it's like
it's first one.
Yeah. It's so basically with that, the sound of it put me into it inspired me to write what I was already going through at that time.
Yeah,
I was already dealing with stuff. The first line on the whole project is lately I've been in a different space.
Yep.
And it
come on.
I was in that particular time, I think that was early in the summer. I was just in a space where I was like, I was uncovering so much about myself as I'm evolving as an artist and just as a person. And I'm like, man, there's so much I need to heal. There's childhood trauma I never sorted through. There's maybe I need therapy. I talked about that. I even talked about my bouts in therapy before that, because I'd taken a break from therapy for a while, right before I started working on this. And I was just like, man, there's so much I'm feeling right now, and it's so uncool, allegedly, to talk about your feelings. And I was just like, no, like that's really what hip hop was founded on. Yeah. Hip hop was founded on, you telling your experience.
Yes.
And like I was really like,
that's why
I've been in a different space. Yeah, like I need some type of healing. I'm going through stuff. Like my mom is telling me she's concerned about how I handle my mental health. I don't talk about things much. It's like I need an outlet, and there was no better sound to do that on than the beat for Deborah.
And that's crazy you say that, because I feel like that's what that beat really was too. For me, that's what that beat was born from as well. Just going through stuff, and like that sample, I feel like really, I don't know, it just really resonated with me when I was making it. I remember I remember when I put that flanger on the voice, I was like, okay, bro. Yeah. Like this is a mood right now. Like I feel this, bro.
It was ominous, but it was hip hop.
Yeah, it was chill, but yeah, I mean that's classic conductor brilliance to me, bro. Just that, like, I can't even describe it, but it's like that melancholy, but like it's like that melancholy vibe, but it's still got like a beat to it that you can bob your head to, and it's like, I don't know, it's tough as fuck. But
and I immediately got, like, again, like you said, conductor, alchemist vibes to it. And like you can literally hear your inspiration in it, and it's not in like a way like you bit from a producer's style, but more so like, no, this is you're in their vein, like you are in that same lane of production. And I think that's something to be proud of, because when you are, if you play a beat and somebody could confuse it for alchemist or conductor, that's how you're getting in like really talented territory, because it's that parallel to their skill set. So
yeah, and then it's going back to like that beat was just, I don't know, it was just made from like a time in my life where I was kind of going through something too. So I feel like maybe you resonated with that, like you heard that in the beat, and that's how it came together.
That's funny how music works, man. Like I could feel even subconsciously like what that music was rooted in, and just was like it brought it out. So I love it.
For sure, man. Yeah, that's yeah.
I'm glad you like that one. Yeah.
I am not Goku or Gogeta. I am Gogeta. Every force you create has an echo. Your own bad energy will be your undoing.
Yo. That left jab just mean I'm really in that lab for real. Sweet science, punching out my class ain't your average skill. Learn the ropes before they box me in. Kept the canvas still, dry as desert mornings unless I'm pouring this ink to heal. Try and be free, dog. Far from the street laws. See the family blessed, that's a must like Elon. And I'm beyond grateful for them days where I ain't know as much. Now it's safe to say I got the golden touch. Double like a movie stunt. Ain't too much capping in what I speak. Cut waters in the fridge, they leave the sand at the beach, then call it mystique. I prefer to leave that rapping words to beats. Guess it's all the same depending on what crowd you try and reach. So we on two different planes, I'ma be in the light. Y'all book flights, I'm getting booked cause my pen nice. While I'm scoping out the highest heights. Heavy be the head that wear the crown, I hope them diamonds bright.
Water on my wrist just so niggas know the diamond's nice. The shit I paid you wouldn't understand, it cost the wildest price. Fuck it though, I guess I couldn't help it, I'm the stylish type. Niggas think they shining how I'm shining, they just not as bright. To my girl go pack a bag, surprise of the 2-hour flight. Top floor Atlantic Hotel, it was the wildest night. Looking in the mirror, me and you niggas is not alike. Talking to myself like, yeah nigga, you probably right.
Ain't checked the timeline ever since working with Epoch.
Like I'm freestyling, took your shorty and beatbox.
They waiting on release like niggas Jordans ain't restocked.
Lot of niggas going outside, but we not.
Ain't riding waves, I'm paddleboarding trying to catch the rays. Moving through this life on different time cause I'm a darker shade. Garden points, ain't gonna be no clippers if you catch a fade. I'm blessed in ways I used to pray for, I got a lot to thank.
So missing, had to close the distance, go a different pace. Writing on my story, always felt it was a missing page. On a marathon, shout out Nipsey, this a different race. Think I finally get it, made a difference, my prolific ways. Done.
Well, just for the beat with that one, man, I was just sampling. This was like a really obscure, like, I don't want to mess it up where the sample is from, but it was some sort of indigenous sample. And it was like some like vocal spoken word, like some dude like saying some junk, you know what I mean? And it was like some flute in the background. I was like, okay, this is kind of dope. And I just tried chopping it up and I made something cool out of it, and that's what it ended up being. So I don't know. I mean, I wasn't really in any specific mindset when I made that beat. I was just trying to make something out of that weird sample, and yeah,
tapping into the creative aspects of it. That's what production a lot of the time, like, that's a lot of the time what it is. It's just like, I want to try this. I don't know what I can do, but I know I don't want to mess it up. I want to do it well, whatever it is.
It was like that one man code when he said that. I was like, okay, I like that. Like, I want to use that somehow. And there was that little chords in the background. I want to use that somehow, but
yeah, that was the only song that we kept the name of the beat as the name of the song, and
it's just, I don't know, it's catchy.
Yeah, it just it as soon as it comes on, you just like you're nodding your head. Yeah, you just felt it, and Isan was low key. He took the lead creatively on that song because that was one where I hadn't written anything prior to the studio session.
Yeah,
I just went in and he was like, I really want to work on this beat.
Yep.
And he, you know how he, like I said, he just starts going, and he does like a crazy 8. And then I'm like, okay, what if we kind of pass this,
going back
pass
and
the
forth.
verses back and forth, opposed to let's do a 16, which is, you can make great songs like that. Obviously we've done that, but with that one, it was like, we wanted to be a little bit closer in proximity with our verses. Like, let's make this all feel like one verse. Like we're
Yes.
attacking this together.
It was the
opposed
same
to,
flow, but it
yeah,
was alternating voices.
yeah, and again, you could kind of hear our stylistic differences.
Yeah.
Because the way he raps is so it's so, there's a certain intelligence to both of our writing styles, but I think with him there's a certain
Yours is more of like a flowiness, and his is more of like a punctual. Like he puts more emphasis on certain syllables and stuff like that. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You just more
yeah,
flow with it. And he
yeah,
talks more like this. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
and creatively I think it just was like, it was just pouring out. Like,
yeah.
he was like, okay, let me go for it. Like, it'll stop me. Like, okay, let me go for it. Like, and just, we would just go back and forth. And that's what
Healthy
made such
competition.
a great performance on there. And that was the first one that we started incorporating the clips from Dragon Ball. And I remember in post production, I was just going through like, I want to add.
Clay did all that, by the way. Clay
Yeah,
did
all
all that.
the mixing and the clips from Dragon Ball and
Yep.
stuff like that. That was a very fun
That was all
part
him.
because like that transformed it from just, you know, naming the project after Dragon Ball and
It had a
after
theme
this
now.
character into actually fitting into that theme. Which I
Yes.
was listening to like a West Side Gun album, and you're hearing these, you know, commentators from these wrestling matches fit the theme. I kind of wanted it to have that same level of dedication to that theme, because we're not like overtly, you know, assigning our rhymes to that theme, so we have to keep the theme in the music there.
Yeah.
But
And really
that
quick,
was really
bro.
fun. That was really fun.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I gotta say this, bro. Shout out to Clay, bro, because this dude did so much work. Oh my God. This dude did obviously the mixing and the sound, like the Dragon Ball stuff like that, but he also did all the content. Like, we went out and did all the shoots and stuff like that, but he edited it and added in added in like the words, and you know, he's the one who posted them and added us as collaborators. So really shout out to him for spearheading that part of it, the social media aspect of it. Because I know that's a lot of work, bro. I edited videos before. I know it's a lot of work. So he has a lot of dedication to it, man. And it's like, it feels like it's like a higher level of professionalism than a lot of artists that are at our level. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because artists, like, they're not doing rollouts like that. Like, we had this rollout planned like a month or two in advance. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna post.
We had the cover
on
art
this
before
day.
the project. The
Yeah.
cover art was already done
Yeah,
before we
and
even did the project. Yeah.
we had like several different posts planned. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that stuff. So, and that was really mostly because of Clay. So yeah, I want shout out to him, bro.
Thank
And
you.
it's a level of professionalism that I was really impressed with this project. And I'm gonna try to keep up with my own projects, even outside of with Clay, but I might not be able to have that standard. But still,
really
though,
think
he set a standard though.
It's less than what you think because of how bad you want it will like prompt you to want to understand how to get it to people's ears more. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm just looking at all of these other amazing artists. I'm just like, you get on TikTok, you get on Instagram, and you just scroll and you see all of these talented people. And I'm the type of artist to where like I'm very easy to get a fan out of me. Like, if I can
yeah,
hear one
bro.
verse that I think is amazing by you, and I'm interested, I want to know
We need
who
more of
you
that.
are and where your music is originated from, and how can I add this to my playlist, or like, is it out yet? Where is it? I hate when music isn't out yet. Oh my God, that's like,
Put it out.
yeah, put it
Put it
out,
out.
because like I'll be wanting
gotta
to
do it
hear it
too.
again. So, but seeing how other people treated their music, I was like, well, sometimes it's not always a big production. Sometimes it's not always a music video. It's just like, you know what, let's do, you know, somewhat of a high quality, you know, minute long piece of content, and, you know, just try to captivate some people with it,
Yeah.
edit it up, you know, as best as we can, but keep it simple enough to you know, make for
That's-
short form content. And
That's how I hear about music sometimes. It's just videos. Like, I remember this dude, like you were just saying, there was this dude on Instagram, I screen recorded a video that he posted because he wouldn't post a song, and I was just listening to that. And I sent it to him. I'm like, dog, I'm listening to this on my phone. Post the song. Like, I'm trying to hear it.
Yeah. So
And yeah, bro.
it's just but that's how I wanted it. I want people to feel that way about us, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, to where
Yeah.
we have the music out and we're
It's
just showing it
available
to
to
you. I
listen.
just want to show it to you. Like, I
That's what we-
understand
yeah.
it's naive to think that just because the music exists that people are going to be privy to it. You have to place it in their hand
Yes.
and say, here,
Especially
we
this
know
day and
what we
age.
have is dope. We worked hard on this, and if you love hip hop, you're gonna love this. So
Yeah.
here, just
Yeah.
take it. You let me know, and then a lot of the time we've gotten new fans off of this already. Like we've gotten new
Mhm.
listenership like just that fast. So I'm excited to keep it going, and there's a lot more content to be released. And my manager and we spend time shooting every time we're around each other. So there's a lot to come for it. So I'm excited.
Man, you're going to have to come back next week for the rest of that. But let me tell you, to be able to be a fly on the wall and to listen to those two gentlemen go back and forth and explain their creative process and the thought process behind this project. And y'all already know, y'all hear me say this word a lot, intentionality, and how intentional they were. And it's a seamless fit, man. Those three, I hope they make more projects together. They definitely are incredible. Obviously, those of you who have been around the Uptown Sounds fan for a little bit, y'all are a little familiar with Epoch. That's my little homie. Like we've had him on the show before. We've had our conversations. And he's just a great person. He's a great creative, a great producer. I'm such a fan. Like when I watch him in his element and do what he's great at doing, I don't even think he knows he's as great at doing it as he is yet. But he's incredible. So I look forward to seeing him step into that a little bit more, and him releasing projects. And we talked a little bit afterwards about some of the things, and he kind of keyed me in on this project before it started, and I didn't even realize until the day that they got to the studio that this is what he was talking about. So that's just incredible to see, and to see his growth as a producer, as a person. Just incredible, super duper incredible. And me getting the opportunity to really sit down and listen to Clay. He's somebody I met through Epoch, and they put a show together at the Flint Local 432 performance arts venue. If you're familiar with the show, then you've heard me talk about that venue a lot. But Clay came and did a show, and I wasn't able to be at the show due to some other events happening in the city that I had to go to. So this was my first opportunity to really sit down and kind of get to know Clay and listen to him. And man, he's definitely going places. That's somebody who he knows what he wants, and he's going to get it. And I respect that wholeheartedly. So it was great for me to be a fly on the wall and listen to this conversation. And I guarantee you there's some more gems and just amazing things that they talk about that happens in part 2. So please, please, please mark those calendars a week from today. Whatever day you listening to this song, a week from today, you will hear part 2, man. So y'all make sure y'all double back around. But in the meantime, y'all make sure y'all head over to your favorite streaming services. Y'all already know we don't shout them out until they give us a bag. And if you know somebody over there who's trying to give us a bag, hit me up, because bags are nice. But anywho, let me keep going. Head to your favorite streaming service. Type in Black Gogeta. Okay? I'm going to tell you how to spell that. Y'all ready? You got your pens, your paper, your notes, thumbs already? All right, there we go. I gave you enough time. Black, B-L-A-C-K, Gogeta, Gogeta. All right? Look up Clay Donte, ClayDonta. Look up Isan, Isan, and look up Epoch, Epoch. They all fire. You ain't gonna go wrong with any of them. Let me just tell you that, cause they like that. So y'all make sure. Clay got a whole discography. I'ma tell you, Clay got a whole discography, and you know what? We got about 10 minutes left for the show today before I gotta let y'all go, and y'all go listen to the next show on Sonic Scout Radio, because this is 24/7, so we listen to this 24/7. I already know y'all don't never leave Sonic Scout Radio. I already know. You ain't gotta tell me. You do not have to tell me, because I'm right there with you. But Clay has such a discography, and he's done so much, and it's incredible to see, man. And in the coming weeks, I have had the opportunity to sit down with some incredible artists who are so young but they have done so much and are doing so much. And Clay is no exception to that. And I'm grateful. So I figured, you know what? It's the Black Gogeta Takeover. So we keeping it that way. They taking over this episode. So y'all enjoy this little medley we got here of Clay, Donte, and Epoch. Talented, crazy, ridiculous. Y'all just know, like I said, part 2 coming next week. You gonna love it. Mark your calendars. There's so much fun we have coming in these next few weeks, this last little stretch of 2025. Y'all know we got to go out with a bang. I'm telling y'all, and we got some bangers. We got some amazing guests coming out. We've been working on visuals. I told y'all, we've been working on it. We've been getting the studio together, and we actually, this particular interview, we did not get an opportunity to set that up, but in the coming weeks, you will be able to see the whole setup that we got and be able to see our guests and see the process that we have, man. I'm super duper excited for that. And you know what? Head over to your app store. Make sure you have the official Sonic Scout Radio app downloaded on your mobile devices. All right, your app store, your Google Play, wherever you get your apps is there. I promise you. Sonic Scout Radio. Y'all head over there, and y'all also head over to YouTube and follow the official Uptown Sounds YouTube page at Uptown Sounds Music. That's where you're gonna find everything, behind the scenes content, every little thing, man. We working on it. We doing it real big over here at Uptown Creative Haus, and we are making Uptown Sounds better and better each and every single day. So I love y'all. I thank y'all so much for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Big shout out to Epoch. Big shout out to Clay, Donte. Big shout out to Isan. He's out there doing his thing. We're gonna work on getting him in so he can add in his sprinkle, but he was definitely there in spirit. And we gonna continue the Black Gogeta Takeover. They're gonna take us out today. So y'all enjoy this medley. This is Clay, Donte. This is Epoch. This is some of my favorite songs by them. Alright, I had to get busy. I had to get to work and get to listening to that discography. So y'all, appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I look forward to kicking it with y'all next week. Peace.
I already know niggas gonna hate today, ignore them till they fade away. You got another game to play. Niggas wanna knock me down, hoping I'm down and out. I bring it back around like I'm a roundabout. We see who's hotter now. Tell me the rules, I'll break them all. Straight to the moon, I'm taking off. Hit me with your words, I'll shake it off. Getting everything I'm praying for. I already know how this shit goes. I already know how it goes. Niggas gonna hate on the loud. Bitches gonna hate on the loud. I already. So hate me if you have to. Love me if you can. Love me if you can. I know you got a man, but love me if you can. Love me if you can. If it isn't too much to ask, I'd like to have your hand back. My life's been moving too fast. I know that you can understand that.
Turn it up. Yeah, there we go. Alright. There. Okay. Feel like I'm always ducking, dodging, yo, I can't even settle. I lash out, crash out like a Sabian symbol. I rebel against your dream, then I'm labeled a rebel. We going round and round in circles, Tasmanian devils. Went around and took the crown, now they saying I let you. They ain't play the same game, I'm just saying there's levels. Rappers flexing on their cards like it ain't a rental. I'm still gonna be rock solid if you pay me in pebbles. Family time and alone time stay in my schedule. I spent a long time with broads that was crazy and ghetto. Wouldn't dare play with God, rather play with the devil. A daredevil, double dare, I race to the middle. Had to fall out with my cousin, we ain't fought but we wrestled. He know he's the one that fought, I'm just solving the issue. Bad energy, I knew you wasn't it when I met you. Said until I get my shot, I'll be aiming the middle. That drum kick like a drummer kicking bass with the pedal. Check the bulletproof vest so I didn't protect you. When I floss out your dentals, yo, it ain't accidental. Leave your face scar, God couldn't even resemble. Wasn't bending over backwards, but the state is in limbo. I get nostalgic with the sticks like I'm playing Nintendo. I fight for my slice, but my name isn't Kimball. They don't keep up with the pace, but I ain't changing the tempo. Feel like I'm always ducking, dodging, yo, I can't even settle. Lash out, crash out like a Sabian symbol. I rebel against your dream, then I'm labeled a rebel. We going round and round in circles, task. Name stamped in the game, plus you know it's signed in red. I know to fight the threats, I go upside your head. I roll beside the best and from the rest of them my head. Can't have my knife though, had to have my ice cold. Yo, pass the nitro, dad picked it up for years. He's asking where does life go? Told him like if I know, don't believe in 50-50, I don't rock with 5-0. If you live too fast, then you'll never die slow. If you wait too long, then your moment might blow. If you give too much, it'll take a high toll. I don't mean to rant about it, just a little side note. High and low, searching, trying to find growth. Rhymes grow daily, cause the day's approaching where I'll see the lights glow. Life flashed before his dawn, dies by how he was living. Small minds got you all blind, never see the vision. Had to exercise and drug mind, that's what keeps me driven. Hard drive files, large size, ain't complete the mission. We living in some dark times, many secrets hidden. People crossing, drawing lines that was given, got me tripping. Fall in line when the dollar's tight, the fit no longer fitted. Addictive to these rhythms. To choose between the critics or my lyrics, yo, I turned a split decision to a quick decision, fit for my description. You don't get it, you ain't meant to get it. The more they throw at me, the more they missing. Yo, I'm always ducking, dodging, yo, I can't even settle. Lash out, crash out like a Sabian symbol. I rebel against your dream, then I'm labeled a rebel. We going round and round in circles, task. Feel like I'm always ducking, dodging, yo, I can't even settle. Lash out, crash out like a Sabian symbol. I rebel against your dream, then I'm labeled a rebel. We going round and round in circles, Tasmanian